Okay, I want to make some quick corrections slash clarifications that one of your classmates found. So I should probably be more careful, like for number 1. When I found the inverse function, I have x equals something with a y in it. It's usually best to always have y as a function of x. That keeps the domain and range a lot straighter. I wouldn't mark it wrong, and it's okay if you do it like this, but really at the very end you should switch the x and y's. So I should say, okay, finally y is equal to 4 minus x plus 6 divided by 9. That's the x plus 6 squared divided by 9. And that would be your answer, because normally we want a function of x, not a function of y. Okay, so it's a gray area, but it's probably best to do that. So same as for number 2 over here. Normally you want a function of x, so the inverse function of x would be just replace the x with the y, so that'd be y, which is equal to 4 over x plus 6. So that would be our inverse function. The regular function is y equals 4 over x minus 6. The inverse function is y equals 4 over x plus 6. Again, if we plugged in this here for x, we should get just y back, or should just get x back. So anyway, that's probably best. Then it makes more sense when you do the domains and ranges that the domains are always in terms of x, like I did right here, the range in terms of y, the domains in terms of x, and the range in terms of y, which here I put the range in terms of x. So really that's better if I'd put a y there. On this side I did it right, y for ranges, x for domains, and that is better to always keep those separated. So again, I wouldn't mark it wrong in a quiz, but it's best to always have your inverse function as a y, and then when you do your domains, they're always x's, and your ranges are always y's. So it's good to switch those. Okay, the other clarification is it looks like on the quiz I sent out to you that there was, for problem number 10, that there was a squared here. I took out the squared, and on the one that I had, because if you leave that in, the problem gets really weird. So I was like, oh, I'll take out that squared, and that's the one I was working off of, but it looks like the one I sent out to you guys had the squared, which I didn't mean it to be there. If you did have the squared, that's pi to the pi squared power, which if you do that, and I did that problem over here, this is the problem then. Pi squared that's like about 10, so that's like pi to the 10th power, pi times pi times pi times pi 10 times. It ends up being a big number, which is this number. So then you divide it by 4 to the negative 3, or 4 to the third, is 64 to that power, and you end up getting this really, really tiny answer. And I said the 2 decimal places, well, the 2 decimal places would be 0. So anyway, that's why I took out the squared. So if you had the squared in there, yeah, your answer would have been like 0.000004264, which is fine, except it's kind of small. It's kind of ridiculously small answer. So I want something more reasonable, so that's why I took out the squared, and I guess the one I sent out to you still had the squared in it. Okay, so that was for number 10. So anyway, either way, as long as you know how to do it, that's what counts. Okay, sorry about that. Hope that helps. Bye.